It seems like AI is everywhere you turn these days,
Yeah, definitely seems like it.
especially in the world of content creation.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's looking for that edge,
Yeah,
that tool that helps them create better content faster.
for sure.
And I'm sure our listeners are no exception.
I would agree with that.
So today we're diving deep into Narado AI,
Okay.
a platform that's making a lot of promises about changing the game for content creators like you guys out there.
Yeah, it's really interesting what they're doing.
Yeah.
Narado, it's not just another AI writing assistant.
Okay.
They're really aiming to be this all-encompassing content creation hub.
Oh, wow.
It handles everything from brainstorming initial ideas to publishing the final polished piece.
Okay.
And they try to address a lot of those challenges that content creators run into a lot. Like what kind of challenges?
Like maintaining a consistent brand voice.
Right?
And optimizing for SEO.
Yeah, those are big ones.
So I've heard about this brand voice mimicry feature. And honestly, it sounds almost too good to be true.
It's pretty impressive.
Can Narado AI really learn and replicate a brand's unique style?
It can, and it does it through custom AI models.
What does that mean?
So you feed the platform your existing content,
Okay.
website copy, blog posts, social media updates, anything that reflects your brand's personality.
Got it.
And then the AI analyzes all that data, learns the nuances of your tone, vocabulary, even those little quirks that make your brand stand out.
So hypothetically, if we trained Narado on this podcast's writing style,
Yeah,
it could start creating content that sounds like us.
exactly. It could generate scripts that capture our conversational style, the way we interact, even our specific word choices.
Wow.
And, for businesses, that consistency is really valuable.
I can imagine, yeah.
It builds trust with your audience and makes you instantly recognizable.
Right, which is super important.
Yeah, especially in such a crowded digital landscape. So Narado helps you maintain that consistency even when you're creating content across all these different platforms.
That's incredible.
It is.
It really shows what AI can do for content creation.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
But let's move on to another really important aspect, SEO.
Mm-hmm.
We all know how crucial it is for content to be discoverable.
Right.
And Narado claims to have some pretty powerful SEO tools.
Okay, do.
What's the secret behind those?
Well, the key is their integration with SEMrush.
Oh, SEMrush, the leading SEO platform.
Exactly.
So that's a big deal to have built right in.
It is a huge advantage because as you write, you get real-time feedback on your keyword optimization,
Okay.
readability score, and even competitor analysis.
So I don't have to be jumping between different tabs and tools.
Nope, it's all there in one place.
Wow.
And it's not just about stuffing keywords into your content.
Right. We all know that's bad for search engines.
Yeah, a big no-no.
So it guides you to use those keywords naturally.
So your content is both SEO optimized and engaging for actual humans.
Right. Because at the end of the day, the goal is to create content that resonates with your audience.
Yeah.
But also is easily discoverable.
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
It does.
But creating content is often a team effort.
For sure.
So how does Narado handle that collaboration aspect?
It's actually one of their standout features.
Really?
Yeah, it streamlines the whole process.
Okay.
So you've got shared workspaces, inline comments, version history,
Gotcha.
all the things you'd expect from a good project management tool.
Right.
It's all right there in the platform.
So no more endless email chains
No more of that.
with confusing file names and edits getting lost in the shuffle.
Nope. Everyone's together in one unified workspace.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And that not only streamlines the workflow,
Mm-hmm.
it also fosters better communication.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And that leads to higher quality content in the end.
Right, because everyone can provide feedback in real time,
Exactly.
catch errors early on,
Yeah.
and just make sure everyone's on the same page
Yeah.
throughout the entire process.
Mm.
That's great. So it sounds like Narado really is designed to bring efficiency and clarity to content creation,
That's their goal.
which can often be very chaotic.
It can be.
I know we've only scratched the surface of what Narado can do.
Yeah, we have a lot more to cover.
But before we dive deeper,
Okay.
I want to hear your thoughts on some practical tips for how content creators can use this platform.
Sure.
What are some key ways Narado can help creators?
Well, one of the most valuable things they offer are their AI-powered content ideation tools.
Okay.
And these can help creators overcome that dreaded writer's block
Yeah.
and generate fresh, engaging content ideas.
So if I'm struggling to come up with topics for my blog,
Exactly.
I can use Narado to help me out.
You can use the content ideas feature.
Okay.
You just put in some keywords or topics related to your niche,
Uh-huh.
And Narado suggests relevant and interesting blog post titles, article ideas, even questions that your audience might be asking.
So it's like having a built-in brainstorming partner
Exactly like having someone there to bounce ideas off of.
who's always available and full of ideas.
That's the best part.
Yeah, that could save me a lot of time and energy
It definitely can.
in those early stages of content creation.
Yeah, for sure.
But Narado goes even further than that.
Oh, yeah. They have a topic clusters feature too.
Okay, what is that?
So that helps you map out a series of content pieces
Uh-huh.
around one central theme.
Gotcha.
So this is incredibly helpful for planning your content calendar and ensuring that you're covering a topic from every angle.
So it's not just about creating individual pieces of content.
Right.
It's a valuable asset for building a comprehensive content plan.
Exactly. It helps you plan, organize, and execute your content strategy effectively.
Whether you're creating a single social media post or a whole multi-part blog series,
It can handle it all.
this is fascinating. We're already getting a good sense of how Narado can empower creators
It's powerful stuff.
to streamline their workflows
Yeah.
and generate more impactful content.
Yeah.
But I want to explore even more.
Cool.
Can we dive deeper into how Narado's AI can be used to create content that's not just informative, but also engaging and personalized for each reader?
Yeah, personalization is becoming so crucial in content marketing.
It really is.
Everyone wants to feel like they're being spoken to directly.
Right, not just part of a generic audience.
Exactly. And this is where Narado's AI really shines.
I'm intrigued. Can you give us some specific examples of how AI can help achieve that level of personalization?
Okay, so imagine you have an e-commerce website selling clothing.
Okay.
AI can track what items people are browsing, their preferred sizes, even the colors they tend to favor.
Wow.
And then you can use this data to tailor product recommendations, email marketing campaigns, even targeted social media ads.
Oh, wow.
That way, each interaction feels personalized and relevant to that customer.
So instead of seeing the same generic product suggestions as everyone else,
Yeah.
I'm presented with recommendations based on my own browsing history and preferences.
Exactly. You get a unique experience tailored to you.
That's incredible.
It's powerful stuff.
So that makes perfect sense for e-commerce.
Right.
But what about content that's not directly related to selling products?
Okay.
Like blog posts, articles, videos.
Yeah.
How can AI personalize those?
AI can personalize those too.
Really?
Yeah, for example, it can analyze which topics your audience is engaging with the most, which articles are being shared, and even what kind of language resonates best with them.
So we can use AI to find out what our audience really wants to watch and listen to.
Exactly.
And then create content that caters directly to their needs.
You got it.
That's the power of AI.
It is.
It's not just about creating more content. It's about creating better content. Content that's targeted, relevant, and resonates deeply with your audience.
Absolutely.
This is so insightful.
Glad to hear it.
I'm starting to see the potential of AI in content creation,
Yeah.
not just as a tool for efficiency,
Yeah.
but as a way to connect with your audience on a deeper level.
I think that's one of the most exciting aspects.
Yeah.
It's about building those connections.
Before we wrap up this first part of our deep dive,
Right.
I want to touch on something that's on the minds of a lot of content creators.
Okay, what's that?
Scaling.
Yeah.
We all want to produce more content, reach a wider audience, but without burning ourselves out.
Right. How do we do more without killing ourselves?
Exactly. How can AI tools like Narado help us achieve that balance?
That's a fantastic question, and it's something that many content creators struggle with.
I bet.
The key is to think of AI not as a replacement for human creativity,
Okay.
but as a force multiplier.
A force multiplier. I like that.
Yeah, so Narado can automate a lot of those tedious tasks that come with content creation,
Like what?
like generating outlines, optimizing for SEO, and even repurposing content for different platforms.
Oh, that's really useful.
Yeah, and that frees up your time and energy to focus on the more strategic and creative aspects,
Okay.
the parts that really require a human touch.
So it's about using AI to work smarter, not harder.
Exactly, that's the goal.
I love that.
It's about efficiency.
This is definitely a message that resonates with me, and I'm sure with many of our listeners as well.
I think so too.
We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive into Narado AI.
We have.
We've explored its key features, its potential to address common content creation challenges, and even how it can be used to enhance audience engagement and personalization.
Yeah, it's a pretty versatile tool.
Before we move on, I'd like to leave you with a question to ponder.
Okay.
If you could train an AI on your own unique writing style, what task would you be most excited to delegate to it?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What aspect of your creative process would you be happy to hand over to your AI assistant? Think about that for a moment, and we'll be back soon to continue our exploration of Narado AI.
Looking forward to it. That's a really interesting question.
It is. It makes you think.
Yeah, what would I give up?
Yeah, exactly.
And what would that free me up to do?
Right.
But for now, let's get back to Naruto. We
Okay.
talked about how it integrates with SEMrush for SEO.
Right.
But what about the content creation process itself?
Yeah, does Narado just help you write better? Or can it actually create different types of content?
It actually goes beyond just improving your writing.
Okay.
It can help you create a whole range of content types,
Like what?
from blog posts and articles to website, copy, social media updates, even scripts for videos and podcasts.
Wow, so it's pretty versatile.
It is very versatile.
So if I needed to come up with a caption for Instagram or a title for my latest YouTube video, Narado could help me with that.
Absolutely. And remember those custom AI models we talked about?
Yeah.
Narado uses those to make sure the content it generates matches your brand voice and target audience.
Okay.
So that Instagram caption won't just be catchy, it'll sound like you.
That's really useful.
Yeah?
But let's be honest, sometimes the hardest part is just getting started.
Oh, I know.
You sit down with a blank page and your mind goes blank.
The dreaded blank page.
It's exactly. Does Narado have any features that can help with that?
Yeah, one of the things I find most valuable about Narado are their content ideation tools.
Yep.
They have this feature called Content Ideas that generates topic suggestions based on your keywords or your industry.
So if I'm feeling stuck, I just enter a few terms related to my niche.
Right. And Narado will give you a list of potential blog post titles, article ideas, even questions your audience might be interested in.
So it's like having a brainstorming partner on demand.
Exactly. It takes the pressure off.
Yeah.
And they also have a feature called topic clusters,
What's that?
which helps you plan a series of content pieces around a central theme.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's great for mapping out your content calendar
Okay.
and making sure you're covering a topic comprehensively.
So it's not just about creating one-off pieces.
Right. It's about the big picture.
Yeah, it's about developing a coherent content strategy.
Exactly. And Narado can help with both short-term content creation and long-term planning.
I like.
Me too. It's really helpful.
Now, we've talked about idea generation, SEO optimization, even content repurposing.
We've covered a lot.
But I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Personalization.
Yeah.
How can AI help us create content that truly resonates with individual members of our audience?
That's a great question.
I mean, personalization is kind of the holy grail of content marketing, isn't it?
It is. We all want to make our audience feel like we're talking directly to them. And AI can help us do that in some really interesting ways.
Like what? Could you give us an example?
Okay, so let's say you have an e-commerce store selling clothing.
Okay.
With AI, you can track what items people are browsing, what sizes they're looking at, even what colors they seem to prefer.
Wow.
You can then use this data to personalize the product recommendations they see, the emails they receive, even the ads they're shown.
So instead of seeing the same generic recommendations as everyone else,
Right?
I'm seeing suggestions tailored to my tastes and preferences.
Exactly. It's all about you. And that can make a big difference when it comes to engagement and conversions.
Okay, that makes sense for e-commerce. But what about content that's not directly related to selling products,
Okay.
like blog posts or videos?
Right. AI can personalize those types of content too.
Really? How?
Well, you can use AI to analyze which topics your audience is most engaged with,
Yeah.
which articles they're sharing the most, even what kind of language they respond to best.
So we can use AI to figure out what our audience actually wants to read, watch, or listen to.
Exactly. It takes the guesswork out of it.
That's incredibly valuable.
It is. It gives you real insights into your audience.
So it goes beyond just identifying popular topics.
It does. It can actually help you understand the sentiment behind those topics.
What do you mean?
Well, are people excited about a particular trend? Are they concerned about a certain issue?
Okay.
By understanding how your audience feels about different subjects,
Wow.
you can tailor your content to address their specific emotions and needs.
So it's not just about giving people what they want. It's about connecting with them on a deeper level.
Exactly. It's about understanding them.
That's taking personalization to a whole new level.
It is. It's about building real connections.
I'm really excited about all the possibilities.
Me too.
But I have to admit, I still have some reservations about AI and content creation.
That's understandable. A lot of people do. What are your concerns?
Well, part of me worries that if we rely too much on AI, our content will start to feel robotic.
Oh.
Like it's missing that human touch, that spark of creativity that makes content truly engaging.
That's a valid concern, and it's one we need to be mindful of.
So how do we avoid that?
The key is to remember that AI is a tool, not a replacement for human creativity.
Right.
We should be using AI to augment our abilities, not to replace them entirely.
So it's about finding that balance.
Exactly. AI should be your partner, not your boss.
I like that analogy.
It's about collaboration.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential benefits of AI,
Yeah.
but we also need to acknowledge the potential pitfalls.
Right? Every coin has two sides.
Exactly. What are some things we should watch out for as we start incorporating AI into our workflows?
One of the biggest risks is becoming too reliant on it.
I can see that.
It's easy to get excited about all the new features.
Yeah, it's shiny and new.
But we need to remember that AI is not a magic bullet.
Right.
It's a tool, and like any tool, it needs to be used thoughtfully.
So we shouldn't just blindly trust AI to do everything for us.
Definitely not. You still need to use your own judgment.
What else should we be cautious of?
I think another potential pitfall is becoming complacent about our own skills.
Okay.
It's tempting to think that AI can do it all.
Yeah, why bother if the machine can do it?
But that's dangerous. We need to keep learning and growing as content creators.
So even as AI becomes more sophisticated,
Yeah,
human creativity and ingenuity will still be important.
absolutely. Those will always be in demand.
So it's about using AI to complement our skills, not to replace them.
Exactly. Make it work for you.
Okay, so we've covered the benefits and the pitfalls.
Right? The good and the bad.
But now let's talk about the practical side of things.
Okay.
What are some concrete steps people can take to start using AI?
Well, I think one of the best things you can do is start small.
Don't try to do everything at once.
Exactly. Pick one or two areas where you think AI could be helpful
Okay.
and just experiment with them. See what works for you and how it fits into your existing workflow.
So take a gradual approach.
And find what works best for you.
And remember, there are tons of different AI tools out there.
There are so many.
Do some research.
Yeah.
Choose the ones that align with your goals and your budget.
Don't feel like you have to use them all.
Right, don't get overwhelmed.
Just focus on the tools that will actually make a difference.
That's great advice.
It's about being strategic.
It's easy to get caught up in all the hype.
Yeah, the AI world is moving fast.
So it's important to stay focused on what you're trying to achieve.
Exactly. Keep your goals in mind.
And don't be afraid to experiment.
That's the fun part.
As you become more comfortable with using AI.
You can start exploring more advanced features and techniques.
Right, it's a learning process.
So the key is to stay curious and keep learning.
I love that approach. It's all about growth.
Okay, but with all this talk about AI, we can't forget about the human element.
That's important.
What role do you see human creativity playing in the future of content creation?
Well, that's a big question.
It is?
And I believe that human creativity will always be essential.
Even with all these advances in AI.
Yes, even as AI gets more sophisticated, it can't replicate human perspective, emotions, experiences.
So AI can't replace that human heart and soul.
Right. It can't replace what makes content truly engaging and meaningful.
It can help us with certain tasks,
Definitely.
but it can't replace the human spark.
Exactly.
I completely agree.
It's about the human touch.
And as AI becomes more common in content creation,
Yeah,
I think it's going to be even more important to emphasize that human touch,
I agree.
to make our content feel personal, emotional, and authentic.
Absolutely. Those are the things that resonate with people. So it's about finding that balance again.
AI and human creativity working together.
Using AI to enhance our abilities
Right.
while staying true to our own unique voices.
Exactly. It's about partnership.
I love that.
It's the future.
This has been such a great conversation.
It has. I've enjoyed it.
I'm sure our listeners are eager to hear more about how they can start using AI.
I hope so.
But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I
Okay.
want to leave our listeners with a question.
Okay. Hit me.
If you could train an AI on your own writing style, what task would you delegate to it?
Oh, wow.
What part of your creative process would you be most happy to automate?
That's a tough one.
It is it. Think about it.
I will.
And we'll be back soon to continue our exploration of Narado AI and answer some of your questions.
That's a great question to leave them with.
I hope it gets them thinking.
Yeah, it makes you really examine your process.
But for now, let's shift gears and tackle some listener questions about AI and content creation.
Sounds good. I'm always ready for a good Q&A.
Our listeners are a curious bunch, always have great insights.
They do. They keep us on our toes.
Okay, first question comes from Sarah.
All right, Sarah, what do you have for us?
She asks, I'm a small business owner and I'm already feeling overwhelmed just running my business. Is AI content creation really something I need to worry about right now?
That's a valid question, Sarah.
It is. It's a lot to keep up with.
It is. You don't have to jump on every new trend.
Right.
My advice would be focus on what's working for you now.
Okay.
If you're already feeling stretched thin, don't feel pressured to add AI to your plate.
So it's not a must-have for every business owner at this point.
Not necessarily. It's about what your business needs right now.
Right. It's about priorities.
Exactly. If you're struggling to keep up with content creation or looking for ways to make your content more efficient, then AI tools like Narado can be super helpful.
Okay.
But if you're managing your content well and have other priorities, then it's totally fine to wait and see how things evolve.
That's a good point. It's about finding the right tools for your situation.
Exactly. One size doesn't fit all.
Okay. Our next question comes from David.
All right, David, let's hear it.
He asks, I'm worried that if I use AI to create content, it will sound generic and impersonal. How can I make sure my content still reflects my unique voice and style?
That's a common concern, and it brings us back to those custom AI models.
Right.
Remember, you can train Narado on your existing content, so it learns to mimic your tone vocabulary, even those little things that make your writing stand out.
So you're basically giving the AI a crash course in your personal writing style.
That's a great way to put it. You're teaching the AI to write like you.
That makes sense.
It does.
Let's move on to our next question from Maria.
All right, Maria.
She asks, I'm concerned about becoming too reliant on AI. What can I do to make sure I'm not losing my own writing skills?
That's smart to be thinking about that, Maria.
It is. We don't want to become too dependent.
Definitely AI should complement your skills, not replace them. You still need to work on your craft, learn new techniques, expand your vocabulary.
So it's about finding that balance.
Exactly. Leveraging AI, but still honing your own abilities.
Right. Like a chef might use a food processor to chop vegetables.
I like that analogy.
But they still need to know how to use a knife.
Exactly. AI can automate certain tasks, but we still need to have those fundamental skills.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's about staying engaged in the process.
Okay, last question comes from John.
All right, John, bring it on.
He asks, what's one piece of advice you'd give to someone just starting out with AI content creation?
I would say start small and experiment.
Don't try to do too much at once.
Exactly. Pick one or two tools that you're interested in.
Okay.
Play around with them, see what works for you, how you can fit them into your workflow.
So take a gradual approach and find what you're comfortable with.
Exactly. And remember, there's no right or wrong way to use AI.
Yeah.
It's a tool with lots of different uses.
So have fun with it.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to make mistakes.
It's all part of the learning process.
Absolutely. AI content creation is a journey.
I love that it's about exploration and finding what works for you.
That's the spirit.
Well, it looks like we've reached the end of our deep dive into Narado AI.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It really does. We've covered a lot of ground, from its features to its potential to the broader implications of AI in content creation.
It's been a good overview.
It has, and I hope our listeners feel more informed about this rapidly evolving landscape.
Me too. It's a fascinating topic.
It is, and as AI technology keeps advancing, it's important to stay informed, to have these discussions and approach these tools with both excitement and a critical eye.
I couldn't agree more.
The future of content creation is collaborative. It's a fusion of human creativity and technology.
That's a great way to put it.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep creating, and keep diving deep into the world of content. This is The Deep Dive, signing off.